So on board 4, the student reads 2 review words, right? So let's pretend the first word they read is rid, okay? When I'm watching the student read the word, I'm gonna look for an error in these 3 places, with the first letter, with the second letter, and with the last letter.
So rid is 3 sounds.
3 sounds.
And what we're looking for is, can they say the sounds? And can they blend them together?
Yeah. So you'll look for, was each sound pronounced correctly, and then you can note that it was blended completely by having like a little arrow like that. So here are some possible errors that the student would make for this particular word. So a first typical error is that the students would say red. So they're missing the vowel. Vowels are some of our trickiest letters.
So the
to
first
get.
error line there represents a vowel error. Okay.
Yep. Another possible error is they say rib. So this is a very common error for this age because B and D are reversed. So BD confusion is extremely typical.
So a clarifying point. So you
Yeah.
wouldn't call that a consonant error. Do we have consonant errors?
We do have consonant errors. Yeah, I'm getting to
Okay,
that.
okay, so that is particularly like BD confusion.
Yes,
Okay.
it's its own
Not a
thing.
consonant error.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is type 1, this is type 2, and then I'm doing 3 right. That's 3.
Yep.
And then the third error is exactly like you said, it's a consonant error.
Okay.
So it's any other letter, and the way that we solve this one is just asking the students to tap each sound. So I, d, and then we have them blend them all together. Rid. So the error that I made is very common. Lots of times students, the last sound that they're tapping, it's the last thing in their memory, so they really commonly start the word with it.
Gotcha.
That's why I would say did is another common mistake. Another thing that happens is students are able to tap really easily. They'll say and then they have no idea what that word is. Either because they don't know it, because they don't understand the concept of blending. So you'll have each isolated sound, but you don't have this. That's extremely common.
So what do you do about
So
that?
I guess that's 4. This is the hardest error
So
to
that's the
solve.
blend. So the blending's the hardest error if you have it.
solve, yeah.
Does that gradually go away,
It
or
does,
can
and it's just kind of like over time they kind of just it starts clicking, and there's no magic wand. So certain things you can do is you can like stretch out the middle vowel sound. So
to try to get it to catch?
Yep. Or you could break up the word. So I could say let's just blend these.
So it's almost like
two.
they freeze and then and if you let them go, they're still.
Yeah.
I watched Awakenings this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, so then another thing you do is just say, we're just going to blend the first 2 sounds first, and then we'll add that last sound. So kind of like chunking the word up into smaller parts.
Okay.
But that's usually what we do.
So the sounds are straightforward. I see 3 categories. The first one is vowel errors.
Yes.
The third one is consonant errors.
Yeah. And
The
then
second
BD
one
is
is
so
specific
common.
to BD. Are
But
there
it's-
any other ones like BD?
No.
Oh, so BD is like literally its own
that-
category.
Yeah, it's its own category.
So if BD wasn't a
common.
problem, it would just be one of the other 2.
Yes.
Okay.
And then obviously this one is, I guess, the 4th one where they just cannot even put it together.
Right. Okay, good.